Hari Om, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Gange. We can do better. Jai Gange.
Jai Gange.
Wonderful. Pranams to you, Pujya Swamiji. Pranams, Pujya Sadhviji. And thank you to Risha and her group for leading us through wonderful bhajan, sankirtan and chanting. Let's give them a round of applause. So welcome to this divine satsang with Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswati Ji and Pujya Sadhvi Bhagavati Saraswati Ji. After so many years and for the first time since the pandemic, we are so fortunate to be in their presence, to hear their Amrutvani and to enjoy the sang of each other, our PARMARTH family. To start the proceedings, we will begin with the chanting of divine mantras. Young children who are inspired by Pujya Swamiji and Pujya Sadhviji will lead the chanting, and we ask everyone to please join in. Are they here? Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now Swamiji, Sadhviji, thank you for accepting our invitation to come to the UK for this event. Before we ask you to speak, before we carry on with any more proceedings, can I invite Ram Kotecha and his sister Naomi Kotecha, Ram and Naomi. Can I ask them to come to the stage to garland Swamiji and Sadhviji on behalf of all of us? Ram and Naomi are twins.
ॐ अथ पुरुषो हवे नारायणो कामयत प्रजा सृजेयति नारायणात् प्राणो जायते मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च खं वायुर्ज्योतिराप पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी नारायणात् ब्रह्मा जायते नारायणाद् रुद्रो जायते नारायणाद् इन्द्रो जायते नारायणात् प्रजापतय प्रजायन्ते नारायणाद् द्वादशादित्य रुद्रवशवः सर्वाणि च छन्दागुंसि नारायणादेव समुत्पद्यन्ते नारायणे प्रवर्तन्ते नारायणे प्रलीयन्ते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Can I ask Pujya Swamiji, Pujya Sadhviji to please come with Ram and Naomi and light the Deep Pragatya, the auspicious lamp. Swamiji is calling all the young children who took part in the chanting. Please come.
शुभं करोतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदं शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So all the children can sit back down again once they've lit the candles. Wonderful. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Okay, so once everyone has sat down, now we're coming to the final days of the auspicious month of Shravan Mas and have enjoyed such beautiful celebrations like Pavitra Baras, Raksha Bandhan, Nag Panchami, and Shri Krishna Janmashtami, which was only yesterday. How many of you stayed up till midnight last night? I hope most of you. Yes, lots of hands up. And only last week we saw another birthday, the 75th anniversary of the birth of modern India, when we obtained independence from the British. Now, earlier this summer, there were two other very important birthdays. The 70th birthday of our beloved Swamiji, and the 50th birthday of our dear Sadhviji. Now, we've said today's event is to celebrate their birthdays, but really it's an excuse to be in their company and hear their divine words. For Swamiji and Sadhviji at Paramat NIKETAN, every day is a birthday. Every day is a celebration on the Ganga Ghat. Every evening is a spiritual party. And every prasad meal, which is prepared with love, is a feast. However, as these are milestone years, 70 for Swamiji and 50 for Sadhviji, it is important that we take this opportunity to reflect on their lives, their work, and their legacy, and also look towards the work they are doing in the future. At 70, most people in this country have retired or are beginning to retire. But can you see any indication of retirement here? With important projects still on the horizon that will bring positive change to future generations, we can all say with conviction that when it comes to Swamiji and Sadhviji, they have done so much. They have done their best, but their best is yet to come. Let's hear. Yes. Let's hear a video presentation. Let's see a video presentation that tells us more about their lives and their work.
His Holiness Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswatiji is one of the world's most beloved and revered spiritual leaders. As president of PARMARTH NIKETAN Rishikesh, he heads one of India's largest spiritual institutions that draws many tens of thousands of pilgrims and visitors from every corner of the earth. Seekers of every age, race and religion flock to PARMARTH NIKETAN to bask in the divine, world-famous Ganga Aarti each evening, to dive deep in satsang, to learn yoga and meditation, and to absorb the sacred transformative energies of this holy land. Having spent his youth in silence, meditation, yoga and intense sadhana deep in the forests and jungles, Pujya Swamiji is now leading revolutions, uniting faith leaders, scientists, engineers, activists and government leaders for environmental protection, abating climate change, empowering and uplifting women and so much more. Through the organizations he has founded, Global Interfaith Wash Alliance, Ganga Action Parivar, Divine Shakti Foundation, and India Heritage Research Foundation, Pujya Swamiji has created history many times over. Under his leadership and inspiration, India Heritage Research Foundation published the first encyclopedia of Hinduism in history, an 11-volume compendium of the depth and breadth of Indian culture and heritage, which has been launched by the Honourable President of India, Mananiya Shri Mohan Bhagawatiji, the Honourable Vice President of India, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and so many revered saints, and also the Honourable former Prime Minister of Great Britain, David Cameron. Pujya Swamiji also founded the first ashrams and a medical clinic in the sacred land of Mount Kailash and Mansarovar, including at the unprecedented height of 17,000 feet. Pujya Swamiji's name is synonymous with engaged, sacred action for the protection of Mother Ganga, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and all of our sisters and brothers of every species with whom we share this sacred planet. His historic work and clarion calls for oneness and unity with the Creator and all of creation have earned him innumerable awards, including the Mahatma Gandhi Lifetime Achievement Award, presented by the Honourable President of India and the President of Harijan Savak Sangh, Mahatma Gandhi's own organisation. In addition to serving all creatures, large and small, sentient and non-sentient, Pujya Swamiji showers blessings and guidance upon his devotees across the world, transforming their lives and the lives of their families. It is Pujya Swamiji's divine touch upon Sadhvi Bhagawati Saraswatiji that transformed her life when she travelled to India as a young 25-year-old American student. Having graduated Stanford University and in the midst of getting her PhD in child neuropsychology, Sadhviji was touched with an extraordinary experience of spiritual awakening on the banks of Mother Ganga. She knew she had come home. For the last 26 years, she has lived at PARMARTH, NIKETAN, engaged deeply in sadhana and seva. Sadhviji's #1 best-selling memoir, Hollywood to the Himalayas, A Journey of Healing and Transformation, was published last year and launched in a variety of prestigious events and conversations, including with the United Nations, Religions for Peace, the Indian Foreign Ministry, Deepak Chopra, Prince EA, and many other famous thinkers, leaders, philosophers and authors. Sadhviji is president of Divine Shakti Foundation, dedicated to children and women. She is also Secretary General of Global Interfaith Wash Alliance, bringing religious leaders together for water, sanitation and hygiene, and for protection and preservation of our environment. She is also director of the world-famous annual International Yoga Festival at PARMARTH NIKETAN, which draws thousands of participants from approximately 100 countries across the world, and has been addressed by the Honourable Prime Minister of India and the Honourable Vice President of India.
I'm happy to join you today at the annual International Yoga Festival. Swami Chidanand Saraswati Ji, I appreciate the work being done by PARMARTH NIKETAN in bringing yoga to people across the world.
Sadhviji is a renowned faith leader and speaks frequently in programs and events by the United Nations and numerous other eminent international bodies. She serves on the United Nations Advisory Council of Religion, International Partnership for Religion and Sustainable Development, and on the steering committee of the Moral Imperative to End Extreme Poverty, a campaign by the World Bank and United Nations. She is a co-president of Religions for Peace, the world's premier interfaith organization. Sadhviji's daily satsang at PARMARTH NIKETAN draws seekers of every walk of life to ask the questions troubling their hearts and minds. She uplifts and inspires them and provides the teachings and the touch that bring healing and transformation in their own lives. Sadhviji has received numerous awards for her leadership in fields of women's empowerment and environmental protection, including the Lifetime Achievement Award for Service by the President of the United States, Joe Biden. This year in June, PARMARTH NIKETAN celebrated Pujya Swamiji's 70th birth anniversary and Pujya Sadhviji's 50th birth anniversary in a historic event that drew world leaders from the fields of politics, religion, entertainment, social activism and much more.
गंगा जी वाला पावित्र्य, गंगा जी वाली शीतलता, और हम सभी ने अनुभव किया है कि गंगा जी वाली मधुरता भी आपके व्यक्तित्व में और आपके व्यवहार में, बड़े से बड़ा आदमी हो या एकदम छोटा व्यक्ति हो, सबको वो शीतलता और उस मधुरता का अनुभव हुआ है।
परम श्रद्धेय चिदानंद सरस्वती जी, आपने आपकी जीवन की 7 दशक की यात्रा आध्यात्मिक संस्कृति, मानव परोपकार के लिए समर्पित की। आज हम सब आपका प्रकट उत्सव मना रहे हैं। मैं आपको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं, बधाई देता हूं, प्रणाम करता हूं।
पूज्य साध्वी भगवती सरस्वती जी के दीक्षा दिवस, संन्यास दीक्षा का दिन, वही संत का जन्मदिन होता है, तो उनके अभी 25 वर्ष पूरे हुए हैं। उनके चरणों में भी मैं नमन करता हूँ।
This year too, on his 70th birthday, he has implored one and all to take up the cause of saving nature, पर्यावरण संरक्षण के लिए स्वामी जी का ये मैसेज। On this pious occasion, the Times Group is honored to collaborate with PARMARTH NIKETAN on this covetable book on Swamiji titled Prayer in Action. Thank you so much, Swamiji. Thank you so much, Sadhvi Didi, and all the revered saints and sages who are present on the dais.
So we've just seen a glimpse of some of the tremendous work that hundreds of sevaks, inspired by Pujya Swamiji and Sadhviji, are doing. There are opportunities for others, for many of us here, to be a part of these projects and offer our seva, which I will talk about a bit later on. Today's event is entitled Secrets to Happiness, and we're incredibly fortunate that within this auspicious month of Shravan, we're in the company of divine personalities like Swamiji and Sadhviji, who will share their Himalayan wisdom to allow us to make our lives more meaningful and joyful. The next hour and a half will give us a chance to recharge our spiritual batteries and obtain our spiritual booster jab. Risha will do a short chant, and then I will invite Pujya Sadhvi Bhagavati Saraswati Ji to share her words of wisdom.
गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनाम् उपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन् नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनेवती दीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्ट्वापुंसस्तनूभिः यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्तिः 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 सद्गुरुदेव की जय।
Pujya Swamiji and all of our London family. What a joy and what a blessing to be back together again. I mean, being together at any time is a blessing. It's always a beautiful opportunity, beautiful grace. But after the pandemic, after so many years of not being in London and then not being able to gather together at all, being able to be together is such an incredible blessing, and I'm so touched and so full of joy to be with you all this evening. As we think about secrets to happiness, it's so interesting because happiness has become a topic as though it were something as elusive and impossible to obtain as anti-aging, right? I mean, wherever you go, there's basically two things for sale: anti-aging and happiness. And we've started to think about them really as though they go together. We all know on some level that no matter what color we may dye our hair, no matter what we may do to our faces or bodies, ultimately we're aging. And so even though we may engage in all of the anti-aging activities, there's always this sense within, we know we're aging. And the tragedy with happiness going along with that is that we've actually started to think of actually being happy as improbable and unattainable, as actually reverse aging. And yet happiness is our birthright. The nature of nature is we will age. But the nature of nature is not you won't be happy. In fact, it's the exact opposite. The nature of nature is happiness. if you look at children, it's the most perfect example. What do children need to be happy? Some food in their belly, a clean diaper, and a nap wherever possible. Anything beyond that, they're really not interested. It's so funny, whenever you give kids a gift, we wrap it all up and you give it to the kid, and they're so enthralled by the ribbon, the box, that we're always the ones saying, no, 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 open it. Open it. The gift is inside. The kid doesn't care. The ribbon itself, the box itself, the wrapping paper itself is enough to bring them joy. Put a child in their bed. They will amuse themselves for hours with their own toes. And all they need to be happy is their own toes. And you think, well then, what is it exactly that happens to us where we go from our birthright, our nature of being happy with a box, with a ribbon, with our toes, to suddenly needing to do beginner courses, advanced courses, this course, that course, everything to finally figure out how to become happy. Book after book, training after training, counseling after counseling. And what it is that happens is, as we grow, this ego self forms, and the ego self says, this is who you are. You are your size, your shape, your color, your history, your race, your religion, your economic status, your educational qualifications, your sexual orientation. You are these things. How much money is in your bank account, who you're in what relationship with, whose father, whose mother, whose child, whose husband, whose wife. We start to think that is who we are. And then, of course, it's never enough. There's never enough money in the bank. We're never beautiful enough. We're never successful enough. We're never popular enough. We're never happy enough. And so we spend our lives constantly trying to grab more and more, more and more. We're constantly comparing, constantly feeling as though I'm not enough, constantly looking at others, feeling less than, criticizing ourselves, judging ourselves, desire after desire after desire, constantly needing them because of this ego self, constantly needing the world to dance according to our tune. It becomes, I would be happy if you did what I want. How many times do we say things like, I was having such a good day, and then you came home. I was so peaceful until you called. That call, that email, that message, your presence, it stole my happiness, it stole my peace. We hear people say frequently, I'm really in a good mood, so don't talk to me, okay? I'm really feeling peaceful, so just don't come too close. It's become so tenuous that it needs just the right exact amount of how people are treating us, how they're talking to us, who's doing what. But that's not real happiness. That's just keeping things under control. And that is not our highest goal. I remember for me in the first 25 years of my life, I really thought that was as good as it gets, that if I can just learn to manage my life, manage my education, do well in school, manage relationships, manage my emotions, manage my anger, manage my pain, manage the different aspects of my life, that I would be happy. And everybody I knew was managing. Some were managing well, some were not managing so well, but it seemed like that was the highest goal. That basically we are all stressed, not peaceful, miserable, but you can do all of these things to just kind of manage. And if you can manage, you're doing well. No one ever told me that actually you can be free, that actually you can attain a happiness that isn't dependent upon a micromanagement of your life. But that wasn't to come until I came to India. As Bhavat was sharing and the intro video was talking about, I come from America. I spent the first 25 years of my life in California, in quite literally Hollywood, and then in Palo Alto for my studies. And the Hollywood way of thinking is a way of thinking that actually keeps our happiness at an arm's length. Because the Hollywood way of thinking says, you are your body, you are your story, you are your history. And so we identify as the color. Those who are white want to be dark. I grew up in a world where everybody covered themselves with oil and lay in the sun so they would become dark. I then moved somewhere where everyone bought fairness cream so they would become fair. Nobody's happy whatever we look like. Everybody wants to either gain weight or lose weight, be a little taller, be a little shorter. We identify by what we look like, and we identify as our histories and our whole stories, what has happened to us. What have we been through? What have we done? What have we experienced? So there's guilt, there's resentment, there's regret, there's longing, there's a constant sense of, I wish I had, I wish I hadn't, this shouldn't have happened. We're constantly living in the past. Then I went to India at the age of 25 with a backpack in what I thought was just going to be a very short adventure from my PhD program. But by God's grace, on the banks of Ganga, I had an extraordinary experience. It's another story. But after I had that incredible experience, and I knew that that's where I was meant to be, that that was my home. And then I met Pujya Swamiji. I had his darshan. And a short while after, just a few days, maybe a week, Pujya Swamiji looks at me one day and he says, he holds up a pen and he says, "You are not this pen." And I laughed. I was a PhD student. I knew I wasn't a pen. And he says, "You laugh because you know that you're not the pen, but you still think that you are your physical body, what has happened to it, what it has been through, what it knows, what it can do, what degrees it has. You still think that you are your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings." He said, "There will come a day where when I say to you, you are not this body, You will laugh in the same way that you do today when I say you are not a pen. And that's the Himalayan way. In the Himalayas, they teach you have a body, but you're not the body. You are the soul. You are the spirit. You are divinity. You are consciousness. The body is ever changing, but you are not changing. You are not the constantly fluctuating chemistry and electricity in your brain that we call emotions. We say, I'm angry, I'm depressed. Well, that's just a chemical and electrical pattern in the brain. We say, I am the one who was abused, abandoned, betrayed, cheated. Well, that's just what this physical body on its life journey has experienced. But you're not the body. My physical body is a 1971 Californian model, but that's not who I am any more than you are the model and the year of the car that you drove to get here. And so when I had this beautiful teaching, suddenly the way that I thought started to shift. And I realized that life was not about management. Life was actually about freedom. But in order to be free, we have to let go. And I want to just quickly take you through a little acronym that I've made just to make things easier to remember. And if you take the words let go, it reminds us of what we have to do, because I remember in the very beginning, Pujya Swamiji said to me, are you going to take this to the grave? I told him why I was afraid. I told him why I was stressed. I told him why I was depressed. And it's a good story. And it was a story that had always gotten me a lot of sympathy and compassion and oh ho ho, you poor thing. And Pujya Swamiji looked at me and he said, are you going to take that to the grave? I was 25. It's like, God, no, of course not. He said, so are you going to let it go on your deathbed? He said, how about a week before you die? Maybe a month before you die? And I said, God, no, Swamiji, I mean, I'm in process. I'm in process. And he said, you're waiting for someone else to come in and draw the line. For someone else to come in and say, now you can be free, now you can let it go. He said, no one will. And as long as you hold on to it, you will never be free of this pain, of this stress, of this fear, of this depression. You will never know real happiness. And so he had me walk into the waters of Mother Ganga and actually offer it to her. And so that which I've learned over the last 25 years, I want to just give you in a little acronym, which is let go. And the L of let go stands for listen. Listen to that which is hurting you inside. Means don't deny it, don't push it away, don't repress it. Then it just festers within you. Because we do that a lot. We say, I shouldn't think that. That's bad. That's wrong. And then we just criticize ourselves more. Listen to it. Acknowledge it. But then let it go. Not because whatever someone has done is right. Not because it's okay whoever was mean or rude or abusive or cheating or betraying. But we let go simply because to hold on keeps us stuck. And because regardless of what has happened to you in your life, you deserve to be free. And to not let go is literally to offer your freedom, your joy, your happiness on the altar of someone else's ego, arrogance, ignorance, illusion, greed, lust, blindness. Whatever someone did to us, knowingly, unknowingly, they did out of ignorance, out of arrogance, out of illusion, out of greed, out of lust, out of confusion, whatever it was. But for us to hold that forever is literally to take the most precious thing in our life, our joy, our peace, and offer it on the altar of this one's ignorance. So we listen and we let go. And then E stands for embrace. Embrace every day. We have no idea what the day is going to hold. But embrace it as an opportunity for experience, as an opportunity to learn, as an opportunity to be conscious and aware, as an opportunity to serve and to love. And yeah, sometimes really bad things happen. But that's when we take a lesson from Kunti, who at the end of the Mahabharata, when Bhagavan Krishna says to her, ask anything, any boon. I want to give you something. You have suffered so much. But through it all, you've been this embodiment of dharma, of dignity. Let me give you something. And Kunti says, give me suffering. Life after life. Give me suffering, because I've noticed when I suffer, you are very close to me. So I'm not saying you have to pray for suffering, but we embrace each day with the awareness that even when what arises is difficulty, let us channel Kunti on those days and use it as a way to get closer to God. And then T. T stands for take back your time and your awareness. Our attention and our focus has been completely hijacked, and we cannot be happy or peaceful when we are constantly distracted. One of the greatest causes these days of stress is the constantly buzzing, beeping, flashing, vibrating, notification giving devices. Now, they're here to stay. We're not going to live without them. But we have to take back our time and our focus. And what that means is consciously making decisions about when we are going to be online, when we are going to be unplugged from the device and replugged in to our own selves, to our family, to our creativity, to our spiritual practice. I read a great study recently that the average amount of time that the average worker in America, and I'm sure it is the same in England, the average worker on an average day goes an average of 3 minutes before they are interrupted by someone or something stealing their attention. 3 minutes. Now you may think, well, so what? Okay, that's okay. I can multitask, no problem. But what they found out is that in 1 hour, and for every one of you who has employees, are you a CEO, a president, a director, an employer of any kind? In 1 hour of being interrupted every 3 minutes, that worker's IQ score drops 10 points. 10 points in an hour. We are making ourselves stupider by the hour. Now, here's what's really funny about that. If instead of sitting at their desk working and getting interrupted every 3 minutes, that worker had actually sat at the desk and simply smoked marijuana for the hour, their IQ would have dropped only 5 points. Now, I'm not recommending that, of course, but I'm putting things in perspective. Our current way of working is actually making us twice as stupid as if we simply sat at our desks and took drugs. And this is why we are stressed, we can't focus, we have no attention, we're not able to hold our awareness, our mindfulness. So take it back. Learn to silence notifications. Learn to make up your rules. When you're available, when you are not. There isn't time to go into all of the different tools and ways, but it's not rocket science. Take back that time. And then the G, so let go. The G of let go stands for grab a sponge. And grab a sponge refers to one of my favorite ways of thinking about when we get hurt. Because what steals most of our happiness, if I went around and I picked on you one by one and I said, what is it that's keeping you from being happy? A huge percentage of us would give the reason as something that someone else has done or is doing or is not doing that we want them to do. Whether it's a human being who's living, who's not living, whether it's the universe, whether it's God, someone in our minds has let us down. And grab a sponge means, if you imagine that you just got a beautiful new couch like this one, and your friend came over, and you sat your friend down on your beautiful new couch, and you went in the kitchen, and with your own hands, you made your friend a cup of tea or coffee, and you gave it to them. And then that friend proceeded to spill that tea or coffee right on your brand new white couch. And then they had the audacity to simply stand up and walk out the door. What would you do? Right? What would we do? Now, how many of us would run after that person down the street saying, get back here, get back here? You're going to chase them? What are you going to do? You're going to grab a sponge. Because we know, I've got to live with this couch. I'll deal with this person later on. The first thing I need to do is get this coffee stain out of my white couch because it's in my living room. But what so many of us do when that stain is on our hearts instead of our couch is we metaphorically allow it to fester, to develop all of the bugs and the worms and the bacteria and the illness. And then everyone who comes over, we say, look what that person did to me. You see that stain? This person did that. And we live with it because we keep thinking that person's going to come back and they're going to clean it up. And until they come back and make it right, until they apologize, until they fix it, we're not going to let go. And Grab a Sponge reminds us that our heart is a lot more precious than our couch. You can always get a new couch. But remember, when your heart feels hurt, clean it right away. Let it go. Don't wait for the person to come back and fix it. Don't try to chase them down the block. Don't try to show everyone what this person did. You've got to live with that festering wound. Clean it right away. And then lastly, open your hearts. We can't be happy if our hearts are closed. Pujya Swamiji always says, Jis se milo, dil khol ke milo. Whoever you meet them with an open heart. We keep our hearts closed because we think we are protecting ourselves. We think that we're going to prevent ourselves from being hurt if our heart is closed. But actually all we do is suffocate ourselves. Because you cannot be happy if you cannot love. And you cannot love if your heart is closed. And so we have to keep that heart open. And the only way to do that is with faith. I think about a trust fall. When so many of us are in school or in these like team building, corporate retreats, we do this trust fall where you stand in front of someone. Maybe a friend, maybe an enemy, maybe a stranger, maybe a competitor, and you fall back. And even if that person is an enemy, is a competitor, is a stranger, you know they will catch you. And if we can have that much faith in a stranger, we need to have that much faith in the universe, in the divine. We're gonna be caught, we're gonna be held. And that faith is the only way to really let go. And I want to just end with, as we just celebrated Janmashtami, with what I think of as the I'm here now mantra from the Bhagavad-Gita, because we keep our hearts closed and we fear because we're worried. We're worried about what we have. We're worried about what we don't have. And Bhagwan Krishna reminds us, Ananya sachintayanto mam ye janaha parupashyate tesham nitya bhayuktanam yogakshemam yahamaham. Ananya sachintayanto mam ye janaha parupasyate tesham nitya vayuktanam yogak shemam vahamyaham. And it means, I'm here. I'm here. I'll take care of it. What you have, what you don't have, trust fall. Trust fall into me. I'm here. And so as you take this Himalayan wisdom, just remember that acronym of let go, and remember to shift your way of thinking about yourself from this Hollywood way to the Himalayan way. And then happiness opens. And it's there, just like it always was from the time that you were enthralled with your own toes.
majority of us in the UK, you are known as Muniji, so fondly. But some of our Gujarati elderly mothers have given you a special name, which is Muniji. હજી ઘણા માતાઓ આવે છે મુનિમજી ક્યારે આવવાના છે પણ આ નામ એકદમ બરાબર છે. મુનિમ means bookkeeper, administrator, secretary. आप है ही सनातन धर्म के मुनि. सभी धर्मगुरु और संस्थाओं को एक रखना, उनके बीच संवाद जगाने वाले, सेतु बंधाने वाले, ऐसे ही हमारे सनातन धर्म के सेक्रेटरी पूज्य स्वामी चिदानंद सरस्वती जी. स्वामी जी, प्रणाम के साथ आपको विनती करता हूँ कि आप अमृतवाणी बनाएं.
मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुडध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षो मंगलायतनो हरिः सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते. नारायणी नमोस्तुते. नारायणी नमोस्तुते. सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. असतो मा सद्गमय तामस तमसोमा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं शांति गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद
जय जय गोपाल जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय श्री राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय श्री राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल 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 जय जय हरि बोल 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 बोले सर्वेश्वर भगवान की
जय
गंगा मैया की
जय
जय जय श्री राधे श्याम। Dear Divine Sadhviji, beautiful souls, Vadilo, Matri Shakti, my sisters and brothers, and beautiful divine children. Divine Sadhviji, in a beautiful way, brought together the Himalayan wisdom, that how we can be peaceful and joyful. The secret to happiness the Himalayan wisdom. Because I was in my young age in the Himalayas, I remember those days, and I want to share what was the secret of those people who were living in the jungle, in the Himalayas. Living alone, even for few moments for people, is very difficult. Even when they are in the bathroom, they start singing. Yes. એટલું સહેલું નથી, બહુ અઘરું છે. So what was that? Being there out of nowhere, no facilities, nothing. And they knew the secrets of happiness, secrets to happiness, and not only they knew it, but they shared for the benefit of the humanity. How to be happy. How to live in harmony. How to have a happy and healthy life. Being happy is not only that you feel happy. And for that happiness, you find the ways. Take a vacation. I saw in my last 2 weeks, so many people were having a vacation in Iceland. 3 days, 5 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. I saw those families being together, spending hours and hours in chatting. And then, before they even come back, you can see how much happiness is sustained. મોસ્ટલી તો હોલીવુડ ઉપર જાવે લોકો જાય ને, પાછા આવે તો ઝઘડા કરતા જ પાછા આવે. 2 વીકમાં ટાઈમ મળે એકબીજાને સાથે રહેવાનો. But I loved the way you concluded this today. Ananyas Chintayantoma, because it's Janmashtami, and that is the great assurance had given Bhagavan Shri Krishna in Bhagavad-Gita. Ananyas Chintayanto, main hu na. I am here. I remember first time when I met Shri S.P. Hinduja, long ago, so many years ago. I came to England first time 42 years ago. And then right after, we had a meeting after S.P. Hinduja and G.P. Hinduja. This just came to me. They shared the secret of their family. And he said, my father, our father, they never said my father, our father. Our father gave a mantra, karm karo. Engage yourself in karma, but not karm karo keval. Put your 100%. Second, maintain the integrity and honesty. Third, which is very important. Engage yourself in karma under the shade of dharma. Keep the dharma alive in your life. Business is business, but do your business also under the shade of dharma. This is the secret. And then with the awareness of Brahma, I am giving in rhyming way, but they said it in different way. Engage yourself in, I remember the same mantra when Sadhviji came first time, after this pen story and few other stories. This was the one, but how I can be involved here? ये मैंने उनको शेयर किया था. लेकिन मैं उसी बात को, the same thing I am sharing in a rhyming way, that how they shared to me. Under the shade of dharma, and then with the awareness of Brahma. What is that awareness of Brahman? Means that divine insurance company is always there with you. And where you will find this divine insurance companies, it tells you, Yoga Kshema Vahamyam. Whatever you have and whatever you don't have, for both, I am there to protect you. I am there to take care of you. And especially on this Janmashtami day, it's a great assurance. मैं हूं ना, हूं छू ना यहाँ, તમારે સાથે છું, તમારા અંગ સંગ છું. બીકા તમે વાત કરી ભાવે કે આપણે આપણા જે વડીલો છે, આપણે તો બધું ઇંગ્લિશમાં ચાલતું હતું, બધા વડીલોના ધ્યાન આવી મને લાગ્યું થોડા ગુજરાતીમાં પણ હોવું જોઈએ કે આપણે મને મુનિમજી કહે. મને પણ આશ્ચર્ય થાય જ્યારે મને લોકો મુનિમજી કહે. મુનિજી એ લોકો મને લાગે બિચારાને ખબર નથી કે મુનિજી અને મુનિમજીમાં અંતર શું હોય છે. પણ તમે આજે અંતર પણ અર્થ કરી દીધું, સારું કર્યું. સાચી વાત તો છે, આપણા જો પ્રભુ છે ને એ પણ એવું છે, બધાના હિસાબ રાખે. રાખે એવું નથી, અગર રાખે તો બહુ મુસીબત થઈ જાય નહીં. मेरे मालिक के दरबार में सब लोगों का खाता, मेरे सब लोगों का खाता. देखो भाई, सच्ची बात तो ये है, सबका अकाउंट है वहां पर. देयर इज अ सुपर डिजिटल कैमरा. You don't have to bookkeeping for every each one of them. 8 billions, then not only you are the creature on this earth. There are billions and billions and billions of creatures. For him, everybody is same. सबका खाता रखना. लेकिन yes, he has installed such a beautiful chip in that super digital camera. Whatever you do every day, whatever you think every day, not only you do, whatever you think is all being recorded. And it's all being recorded. If whatever is being recorded is being viewed and reviewed or showed also, everybody will be in trouble. नहीं? तो सारू છે બીજાને આપણી બાજુવાળીને ખબર નથી પડતો. એવું છે. अगर खबर पड़ी जाए तो बहुत मुश्किल થઈ જાય. सच्ची. अच्छा कि किसी को अगर ये वहाँ पर सब imagine if there was a one screen on your forehead, whatever you think it is being seen, કેટલી મુશ્કેલ થઈ જાય નહીં? After that, even knowing that God has given you insurance, मैं हूं ना, I am there, taking care of you, watching you, but still taking care of you. तो पहला assurance, he said, we have a faith. Faith is our first thing in our family, which brought us together. मैं हूं ना, he is there. Number one, that faith kept those saints in the jungle. There was so much fear. Scorpions are there, snakes are there. I remember whenever you used to sleep, so many scorpions will come, and you have to just, you see that from a small chadar, and you just push them. They don't bite you, but slowly they become your friend. They don't bite you, they don't harm you, because you are in harmony with the nature. When you are in harmony with the nature, if those scorpions and snakes and animals don't harm you, if you have a same harmony, in our families also, that is the Shiva's whole story. We celebrate Shravan Mahina, Shravan month, अपने उपवास रखिए. एक महीना उपवास नहीं, एक टाणो करवानो. But after having upvas also, there is so much sometimes happens in the family and that leaves a scar. Life was not here to create scars. There are enough scars of previous births. Life is there to remove those scars. Don't create new files. There are enough files to deal with already. Whenever you do anything, always remember it comes back to you. Whatever karma you perform, it is going to come back to you. Don't create new files. Whatever the files are, just deal with them. किसी ने कुछ कहा, साध्वी जी said, let go. That is the mantra. Being there in the jungle, the secret to happiness was let go also. Second, first was faith. Second is let go. Third, what I watched there, nothing was said. Nothing. I remember there were days even we didn't have food to eat. No menu, no restaurant, no Amazon.com, no door-to-door service. Nothing. No menu for tomorrow. But still, the saints living there, nothing was said. The small hut leaking under the tree, but no complaint, no grumbling. All was there to be upset, but they were not upset. Sometime in our life, all is well, still we are not well. The secret to happiness is, even nothing is set, but you stay set. यहाँ टी सेट, टीवी सेट्स, दिस सेट, दैट सेट, सोलिटेयर सेट. किसी के आजकल वार्ड रूम में चले जाओ ना गलती से, because we go everywhere, and by mistake, rather than going to bathroom, you go to wardroom. So much is there. God bless you. Nothing wrong in it. Enjoy. Nothing wrong in it. Our Krishna is a Dwarkadish. Nothing is wrong in it, but when something is not there, in life, when things are not around, things are not juicy, still you can say juicy. नहीं तो सारा जूस ही निकल जाता है अपना. सच्ची એવું છે. So when things are not set, still you can stay set. That was another secret. But how to stay set? It's not easy. They were Swamijis, they were in the jungle. They were set, but how to be set? Being here on this earth. Being this life of London especially, going through Corona, COVID, 2 years, no job, there's people, there's difficult even pay their bills even. How to stay set? In those moments, if something is there, what I realized, which keeps you together, as we talk about the faith and the meditation. That collection was not there. Nothing was there to collect. But connection to the divine. When the connection to the divine is there, that keeps you set, then whatever happens in your life, you don't lose yourself. You don't break yourself. You don't get shattered. Over, baddu pati gyu, marya apne. Even in those situations, that faith keeps you together. To explain to your children, they are living in this beautiful world. Everything is very easy. So many comforts are there. Take them to India. Take them to Africa. Take them to those places where they have to go through. Those children, they meet those children. They see by themselves what is life. Life કેવી છે આ લોકોને ખબર પડવું જોઈએ. Then they will value life. Teach your culture. I was very happy to see when the children were chanting the mantra, the way we came, the way you gave a very spiritual welcome. It was very touchy. आप तो बाद में आए थोड़े से. जब हम लोग शुरू में आए, it was beautiful to see how everybody with devoted heart, in a very cultural way, very Indian traditional way, the mantras were being chanted. I was very happy. This is the culture. Sometimes we think कि इससे क्या होता है, एमा शू थाय छे. इससे ही होता है सच में. These subtle touches change your life, shape your life. I have seen you people, when you people were young, and I can see the magic today, the way you explained everything today. That is the touch given by the parents, and that touch is needed. Third, because I don't want to explain too much, but third sutra, to secret to happiness. They were always one thing. They told me, don't expect, but accept. Expect less and accept more. Third was attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. The last was always maintain your appointment with God. These were the small things which made them happy. Number one, have faith. Number two, learn how not to be upset when things are not set. Third, expect less and accept more. Fourth, attitude of gratitude. Fifth is maintain your appointment with God. Every day. Children, you are very young. I was young like you. I was in the jungle. And they gave me, and some children are very scared sometimes. One family was there with us and says, I am very scared. I said, you are very young. Why you are scared? He said, I don't know. In the middle of the night, I just woke up and I am scared. Scary dreams come to me. Scare. You are sometime, maybe because of previous memories also. But I can give you the mantra, previous birth or this birth or every day, every minute or every moment of your life. I was also very scared of ghost in the jungle, very scared. Anything comes, I said, oh, ghost avyo, bhoot avya, really. And my master said, I'm talking about God or you're talking about ghost. હું ભગવાનની વાત કરું છું, તું ભૂતની વાત કરે છે. But I was afraid. I have to accept. But he gave me the mantra. I want to tell you the secret of it. Every day when you sit, children, 5 minutes even, maintain in the morning before you go to school. 5 minutes we have to sit. This will recharge your batteries. It will give you beautiful, sharp memory. Do it every day, and then you will see the magic of it. And when you sit down, chant 3 times a mantra, Om Ram, Om Ram, Om Ram. And feel in your mind, just think that some fire has been created around you. A chakra, a cycle has been created around you, and now you are safe. Nothing is going to touch you. And you will be amazed slowly, gradually. This power of thought, this power of thinking will keep you very strong. Number 2, વડીલો માટે પણ કહું છું, એક મંત્ર, same posture, same time. If you can maintain every day, you will see the amazing power of it. Because ચાલે છે, આજે time નથી મળ્યું, today we were very busy, tomorrow we had to go for soccer, day after something else. Every day we keep postponing. Maintain this appointment. And before you sleep, this is the morning, then before you sleep in the evening. Before you sleep, one thing, very important. Whatever happened during the whole day. Last thing I saw they used to do japa again. And after the japa, the mala, they had the mala, and doing the japa, and after the japa, they used to touch their eyes, touch their heart, and keep the mala on their altar. It means prayer. Oh Lord, purify my eyes, purify my heart, and give me the pure intellect. Purify my intellect. That's it, very simple. The number 1, touching your eyes, this mala, or even touch it with your eyes and touch your heart and pray. Oh Lord, close your eyes and pray. Oh Lord, purify my eyes, purify my heart, and purify my intellect. These 3 things, do it, and whatever you have done during the whole day, offer to the divine. Good, bad, or grudges, or some fight, so whatever happened, whatever Sadhviji has discussed today, all of that which you have to let go, give it to God. And when you give it to God, you will see you are sleeping with a clean slate. And next day, new morning, new day, new morning, and new life and new you. Start again. And these small touches will take care of you. And your happiness will sustain. You will not be dependent, your happiness will not be dependent then in small things. You will find inner happiness through inner connection. People are looking for happiness here, there, everywhere, whether it's a cinema, whether it's a holiday, whether it's a ice cream, small things, whether it's a dress, because they are looking for the permanent happiness. They don't find that happiness. Until they find that happiness, they will keep looking different locations. And day comes, we are gone from the world, and that unhappy, unfulfilled, rather than being in peace, being in pieces, life rather than being better, being bitter, then bitter life and pieces in life, what you attain? Nothing. The secret of life is whatever you have. पहली बात, be happy. हुक्म रजाई चलना नानक लिखिया नाल, नहीं, ये जो सूत्र हैं सारे ऐसे नहीं है. तेरा भाना मीठा लागे, what they had, all those gurus, तेरा भाना, not my will but thy will. And with these small sutras, these are the secrets, we can keep ourselves happy, grounded, anchored. And people who have more, it's not they became happy because they have more. They realized the life is not only to have more, life is to be more. And people who realize that life is being more, and they started serving. The another secret to happiness is serve more. Because when I also came back from the jungle, I asked for the advanced course. Now I want advanced course, because nowadays is a fashion. This course, that course, then advanced course. I also asked the same question, I need an advanced course. my master said the secret of happiness is to serve. If you serve, you will be happy. Whatever you have earned, whatever you have learned, all of that, your time, your talent, your technology, your tenacity is just to keep in service. I can see Ritu is sitting here in front of me, Ritu Chabadiya. And I'm very happy that how, through the foundation, whether it's a Diwali, whether it's some other day, millions of people are being served. I see that Apna Pradeep Dhamecha goes all the way to India. કોણે પડી છે પોતાની છોકરીનું લગ્ન કરવું હોય તો માણસ મરી મરી પડે, ભેગું જ કરતો રહે કે છોકરી બે છોકરીઓ છે લગ્ન કરવું છે. પણ all the way going back to India, where there's a 1,000 છોકરીs or 500 girls, and they go there to get the married. દરેક વર્ષે પછી તો બે बैठे अपने चंद्रू, इन लोगों को मैं देखता हूं तो मुझे आश्चर्य होता है और मुझे बड़ी प्रसन्नता है. आई वांट टू शेयर द सीक्रेट टू हैप्पीनेस इज टू सर्व. वी सी इन आवर लाइफ every minute, every moment, when it's dedicated to the service of humanity, that is true meditation. That is true secret to happiness. Those people living in the jungle, they were in the jungle, left everything, left their families, no place to live even, but they were thinking not about themselves, they were thinking about the world. Those are the one who have given the mantras of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, may all be happy. These mantras were given by those rishis who had nothing, but they given everything to the world. May all be happy. Allness, this mantra of allness, what we need today in every nation. We are forgetting this music of oneness, allness, togetherness, inclusiveness. Everybody is so individual. What for me? Life is not what for me. Life is what through me. Look at our Honorable Prime Minister of India. Sachi baat chhe. I am glad that yesterday on Janmashtami Day, Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna, lift the Govardhan just to show the message of, give the message of Paryavaran, how to protect nature. And yesterday I was seeing the news, somebody sent it to me from India, that how in Mumbai, the first double-decker electric bus was given and new technology was introduced, was brought, just to make India green India. मुझे बड़ी खुशी होती है, even being you have crossed 82 or 81, whatever, even in this age also, working for whom? Working for what? Understood. मुझे याद है SP हिंदुजा मुझे बोले एक बार कि ना आप now we are not working for ourselves, because काम करना है इसलिए काम कर रहे हैं, इसलिए काम कर रहे हैं कि there are thousands of people can keep their families happy, their job secured. Every minute and every moment when you are growing, my dear children, remember, have a goal. Number one, have a goal that I will study and I will take higher studies, and then through those studies, through that education, I'll play an amazing role in this world with my time, with my talent. Whatever technologies you will learn, with my tenacity, make yourself prepared that my role and my goal will be to serve others. Look at creation. Look at the trees. They are blooming every year. Look at the fall here. Look at the autumn here. Look at then winter here. And then they all come back. For what? They never eat their own fruit. River never drink their own water. But they never stop. Moon has not stopped. Sun has not stopped. आपने केम कहिए क्या सुधी आपने करता रही है? आपने इस करता रही है. no complaints, no grumbling. That was the another secret to happiness. They had no complaint and no comparison. आपने compare करता करता मर जाइए, नहीं? No comparison. Look at the flowers. Jasmine never cries why I am not rose, and rose never cries why I am not jasmine. Jasmine is jasmine, rose is rose. Let it be like that. Ritu is Ritu, and Rita is Rita. Why Ritu and Rita has to compare? Nahi? This is the secret to happiness. These small, small things. These are the mantras are given by spirituality. God bless you. Last but not the least, you all. Our young team has kept this beautiful program. The musicians, the loko je pachal betha se, audio, video, and sound system, they are all sevak, doing seva. Our technician, the film you have seen, our Kripali and our Shreya and tech team in India, how they put things together, all seva wale, our Rishi Kumars, all of you. Let us give a big round of applause for all of these people. This is the seva, keeps the community together. Become the real Hanuman of your culture. We need so many Hanumans to keep these cultures alive. God bless you, and I love you. Whenever you have a time, COVID is almost over. Whenever you have a time, one ticket and home will be ready. Let us do the Aarti, Ganga Aarti, our happy hour. We are doing it? Oh, we are doing it, okay. Our happy hour. This is our happy hour. And there is no hangover. Yeah, no hangover. This is our happy hour. You always feel high, not for 60 minutes with LSD or ecstasy, whatever is that. People don't take ecstasy there. No ecstasy, but they are in ecstasy, in jungle. So this is no LSD, really, which keeps you high for just few hours. But this happy hour, maintain in your family life. Have a peace hour. Have a peace corner. सांझ ढले आपने बेसी जी है ओम जय गंगे मैया साथे મળીને ગાઈએ આપણે આજકાલ તો we are living in a tech age બધું છે આપણા પાસે જય ગંગે मैया.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you for those beautiful words. Now we're running a little bit short of time, but we do have some time before we do the Ganga Aarti. In between, we have a special presentation to make to certain individuals who've been invited today. But before that, we do have some time for questions. If anyone has any burning questions, and very short questions, and I stress the word very short question. Okay, is there a roving mic? I think there's one coming over there. The reason we want the microphone is so that people who are watching this on YouTube can also hear your question. Okay, just at the front. What we'll do is we'll take a few questions together, and then Swamiji and Sadhviji can answer it in one go because of the time. So, yes.
How do I develop my bhakti for God? Is there, my connection is not there lately. I want to bring Krishna Bhagavan to my house. I got told it. How do I don't understand the bhakti, some of the words, so I find it difficult.
Okay, so there's a question on how to develop bhakti and bring it into your home. I think there's a question just over there. Young boy there, yes?
What is the purpose of life?
Wow. Good luck. Good luck with that one. Okay, any other questions before we discuss the purpose of life? Anyone else? Don't be shy. We have time. There's a question at the back over here. Do you want to come here? And there's one over here. Okay.
What after the God and we get after self-realization?
What happens after self-realization? And then we have one last question here.
Namaste Swamiji. Namaste Sadhviji. I've got a question for Sadhviji about the let it go thing that you mentioned. You know, in the work situations, you talked about desk, etc. When somebody comes strong at you, somebody's tried to hurt you, advertently or inadvertently, how would you actually let it go? What's the process? Thank you.
Okay, so how to bring bhakti in the home? What is the purpose of life? What happens after self-realization? And how do we really let it go?
So they actually weave together much more seamlessly than one might think. So the purpose of life is self-realization, or you could call it God-realization, because it's the same thing. When I realize who I am, not the body, not that which is changing, but the soul, the spirit, that which in the Bhagavad-Gita, when Bhagavan Krishna says, it cannot be burned by fire, cut by knives, wet with water, dried by the wind, when I really experience that in the self, well, that's the divine. After self-realization, what happens is, as Pujya Swamiji spoke about service, because prior to self-realization or God-realization, we're stuck in the ego. Then I'm working for me. Even if it's not quite as obvious as just my job, my bank account, my salary. Maybe I'm working for my ego. I'm doing things so that people look and they say, oh, that's a great person. Maybe I'm doing things in such a way that I feel on a deep level like I am valuable and important because I'm doing something. It's another reason we do things, is so that I feel like I'm somehow worthy of occupying my place on planet Earth. If I just do enough, then I will feel okay about myself. That's all rooted in this ignorance of who we are. So once I know who I am, then, as Pujya Swamiji was saying, to look at nature, right? The trees give fruit, the sun gives light, the rivers give water. We serve and we serve and we serve, but without any aspect of what's in it for me. Then it really becomes that what through me, we just become instruments in God's hand, like the river is, like the sun is, like the flowers. Letting go is the ingredient which is critical to any of this. You cannot have self-realization, God-realization, until you have let go. But I'm going to come back to that in a moment. We're going to end with the let go part. This aspect of bhakti in the home. Again, it weaves in so beautifully because for a lot of people, it's hard suddenly. How do I develop love for Bhagwan Krishna? Or how do I develop love for Bhagwan Ram? How do I create that? Well, don't worry, because God, and this is going with our God realization, self-realization, God is the truth of who we all are. So if you love anyone really and fully, not their ever-changing bodies, not what they do for you, not how they appease your ego, how beautiful they tell you you are, how wonderful they tell you you are, how they give you what you want, but when you really love the core, the soul, the spirit, the essence, that unchanging aspect of someone, what you're loving is God. And if you all think of one person in your life who you really love, think of anyone, it doesn't matter. How many times in your life has that person changed form? How different do they look today from how they looked when they first came into your life? Whether it's a mother, a father, a child, a spouse, a friend. How their physical form keeps changing. How their actions keep changing, their words keep changing. But you love them through it all. Which means, what is it that you're loving? You're loving their essence, their core, their spirit, their soul. Well, that's God. So slowly, slowly, yes, it's beautiful to bring bhakti for Bhagwan Krishna. And ultimately, that type of bhakti will come. But begin. I mean, Bhagwan Krishna has told us, I am in everyone. I'm in everyone. So do you want to love Krishna through a human being you love? Wonderful. Do you want to love Bhagwan Krishna through the tree in your backyard? Wonderful. Whatever, whomever you can really love, just focus on the essence of that being, not what's changing, the essence. And know that what you are loving is God. And slowly, slowly, that love is going to blossom. And then you start to love all of the beautiful other divine manifestations we have of God. Sing kirtan, do puja. Feel that love start to blossom. You can't force it. Allow it to blossom slowly, 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 as you love God in the form of all. And then lastly, coming back to letting go, because as long as I'm holding on to any story of who I think I am, what has happened to me, any identification, I have no idea who I am, so there's no self-realization. There's no God realization. There can be no bhakti because I'm angry, I'm stuck, I'm living in a grudge, which means I'm living in yesterday. Love and happiness and joy can only happen in this moment. You cannot be happy yesterday or tomorrow. But if I'm living in yesterday or 10 years ago or 25 years ago or 2 hours ago, I'm not here, which means I'm not in joy. And how do you do it? It's really simple. That doesn't mean it's easy. It's simple because there's nothing in me. And for example, if you've been harmed, let's say you've been physically harmed, you were abused. Well, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, There's not one cell in your body today that was abused then. Not one. We're suffering today because we have carried the story from then into today. And I know this because I lived it. I'm not speaking to you from some theoretical space. I'm speaking to you from personal experience. We carry it as an identity. But there isn't one cell of your being who's been abused, betrayed, abandoned, lied to, cheated, harmed in any way. If I say to you, show me the you who was hurt. Show me a cell, show me an arm, a leg. You can't. Unless it happened a few minutes ago. Every cell of our body is constantly regenerating. The skin cells are sloughing off every few days. We're carrying it in our minds. And what you've got to do is actually really simple, is say to yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is holding on to this identity worth whatever it's giving me? Whatever I'm getting from that I've sacrificed my freedom and my joy and my peace for. Ask yourself. And what you'll find is no. And then choose a body of water, invoke Mother Ganga. Stand in the dirt beneath a tree. Invoke the Himalayas. Hold water in your hands, hold dirt in your hands, hold a fire, the samagri for a fire in your hands, and offer it. Into the fire, into the water, into the tree. Offer it back to the universe. And you can do it. You just have to decide that it's worth it for you. You are worth it. You just need to know that.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so who's in the mood to do Ganga Aarti?
All of us.
Or just a few people? I'm sure everybody here wants to do Ganga Aarti.
Yes.
Okay, so but before we do Ganga Aarti, we have to do one more formality. We're going to do a presentation of a new set of awards that Pujya Swamiji and Sadhviji have introduced this year called the PARMARTH Ganga Awards. Now, these are facilitated to personalities from all walks of life for their contribution to philanthropy and the promotion of Indian culture. The awards were first given to people during the birthday celebrations at Paramat NIKETAN in June, and throughout the whole year, various individuals will be presented with these awards. So I'm going to call up some families who are receiving this award to come to the front and receive the award. It's a certificate and a tulsi plant from Pujya Bhai Shri's hands. We have our assistants here ready to give them. And the very first award goes to Veena Ben and Pradeep Bhai Damecha. Pradeep Bhai is here. They have carried out numerous acts of philanthropy internationally over several decades and been major donors to numerous charitable causes, including the Sanatan Hindu Mandir in Wembley and the Hindu Mandir in Crawley. Pradeep Bhai is CEO of the Damecha Group, which is among the country's top food and drink wholesalers. Veena-ben and Pradeep Bhai Damecha ne vinanti છે કે મંચ પર આવીને સ્વામીજીના કરકમલોથી આ ગંગા award receive કરે. Thank you.
I wanted also just to mention, as Bhavat has shared so lovingly, all of the different ways that Pradeep Ji is engaged in service, and Pujya Swamiji mentioned the beautiful weddings that he's doing for so many poor families. He was just with us in Rishikesh a few months ago, and as we are expanding in a major way our educational programs and women's empowerment programs, and I was sharing with him my hope and vision of being able to offer free education to more and more children, he said yes, and is going to be bringing to fruition a very, very beautiful program for so many children, so many women in Rishikesh, and it's just been so beautiful to see the absolutely selfless way in which he has embraced the people of Rishikesh as his own. And of course, you already know he's embraced the people of India and England and Africa and all over the world as his own. So a beautiful, beautiful round of applause, please, of gratitude to Sadhviji.
The next awards go to Charuji and Rajeshji Agrawal. Rajeshji is Deputy Mayor for Business in London. He has been a strong advocate for London businesses and to drive investment into the capital. And he has worked tirelessly to showcase diverse communities and the immense talent pool that live in and around London. He is a successful entrepreneur who founded and built Rational FX into one of the country's largest Forex businesses. He's also chair of Oxfam's Enterprise Development Program and patron of the Prince's Trust. Rajeshji, thank you. Wonderful. The next award goes to Dr. Meenaji और Dr. Chandji Nagpal, CBE, अगला award receive करेंगे. Dr. Chand Nagpal is chairman of the British Medical Association and is the first non-white head of his organization. Now, he rose to the enormous challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic with relentless energy, heartfelt passion, and a calm eloquence that brought about the change for frontline health workers and ethnic minority communities. He was aware from the start of the pandemic that the death toll was disproportionately high among the ethnic communities and pressed the UK government to make its messaging more sensitive. His wife, Meenaji, is also a distinguished GP. We salute them both for their service and inspiration. Okay, the next award goes to Srimati Sunita and Shri Gopichand Hinduja. Now, Gopichandji hardly needs an introduction, often appearing on various rich lists around the world, including the Sunday Times and Forbes. He is one of the most prominent Indian board businessmen in the UK and co-chairman of the Hinduja Group. His father, Shri Paramat Deepchand Hinduja, the founder of the Hinduja Group, had a lifelong dream to see society grow and committed his life to it, leading to the establishment of the Hinduja Foundation. In its over 50 years of existence, with the guidance of Sunitaji, Gopichandji, and others in the family, the foundation has led to immense development in the fields of education, healthcare, sustainable rural development, social welfare, and arts and culture. Thank you so much.
I wanted also to mention that Shri Gopiji and the entire Hinduja family have been such really amazing torchbearers of not just seva, but of really promoting and holding our Indian culture in its universal appeal. They brought all of their CEOs, managers, everybody to PARMARTH NIKETAN, to Rishikesh, for their mothers and their fathers' centenary celebration, to really teach all of their people from all over the world about the gifts of our culture and the way that they are embodying service and dharma together has been just so, so, so beautiful to see. And of course, Rituji and the work that she is doing in India as well.
Swamiji, Sadhviji, we are very honored for being invited and giving us this honor. But I can only accept this honor on behalf of the Hinduja family. As an individual, I don't deserve anything. Because in our family, everything belongs to everyone, nothing belongs to anyone. We all have come naked, we all will go naked. We don't believe in money. What we believe is, वो बुराई करें हम भलाई करें नहीं बदले की हो भावना भर उठे प्यार का हर कदम और मिटे बैर का ये भरम नेकी पर चलें और बदी से टलें ताके हंसते हुए निकले दम. You see, in these wordings, you have practically everything. So my request to you is to simplify everything. Just follow it and you will feel the difference. Happiness comes from serving and giving away, as Swamiji said. So every day, make sure that you are supporting and serving and giving everyone. This is what I would suggest.
Wonderful, wonderful words. Thank you. Big round of applause.
I think today this award goes to the entire Hinduja family and especially the younger generations. It is their initiative, innovative initiative, that how to keep the world green world. और उसके लिए, as he said, it's not individually he has done something, it's all behalf of Hinduja Parivar. And I'm glad to share one thing. I don't know I should share or not here, but everyone should read their will, how they have done their will. I think this is a will must be followed by each and every family on this earth. An amazing will they have written. Nothing belongs to them. Everything belongs to everyone and for everyone on this earth. इतनी प्यारी will है, मुझे लगता है कि उसको पढ़ना चाहिए. और उसके लिए मैं दिल से आपका अभिनंदन करता हूँ. और इस ग्रीन इनिशिएटिव के लिए विशेषकर जो एक नई शुरुआत इंडिया में की है, उसके लिए आज अशोक यहाँ नहीं है, शोम यहाँ नहीं है, प्रकाश नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी आप हैं, तो पूरे परिवार की तरफ से आप सबको ये पूरा अभिनंदन.
Thank you.
If anyone thinks that business and spirituality or success and spirituality cannot go hand in hand, you just have to look at the Hinduja family to realize how untrue that is and what a beautiful model of those two threads merging together their family has been.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, just to move on, our next award goes to Shri Chandru Keval Ramani and Mrs. Keval Ramani.
Sunitaji.
Sunitaji. Sunitaji and Chandruji, please come to the stage. Chandruji is one of the most formidable names in real estate in India and a great supporter of PARMARTH NIKETAN and India Heritage Research Foundation, including sponsoring the water facility project and several rooms at the Paramat ashram in Veerpur.
As Chandruji and Sunitaji are coming on stage, I just wanted to say that in all of the years and decades that we've had the incredible joy of knowing them, Chandruji has 2 mantras that I've heard. One is yes, and the other is what's next. From an ashram in Kailash Mansarovar to the encyclopedia of Hinduism to rural development to schools to medical care, they are the ones who are bringing free eye care, the very top quality eye surgeries to so many poor people in India. They've established an eye hospital in Rishikesh that is providing the gift of sight to so many people. And everybody knows what an incredible philanthropist he is, but always in the back, always never wanting to come forward. And it's just such a beautiful honor to be able to celebrate you this evening.
Wonderful. And the final Ganga Award for the evening goes to Lady Sandhyaben Popat and Lord Dollarbhai Popat. Dollarbhai is here, and I invite him to come up to the stage. Dollarbhai is one of the country's leading Asian parliamentarians who has worked tirelessly to ensure the Asian community has a strong political voice. He has been serving as the Prime Minister's trade envoy to Rwanda and Uganda since January 2016, as well as the Democratic Republic of Congo since October 2020. He became a member of the House of Lords back in July 2010 and is the first Gujarati to represent the Conservative Party in the House of Lords. Yes. Dollarbhai is a successful entrepreneur who came to the UK from Uganda to study accountancy and built a highly successful care home and a hotel chain. Of course, this year marks the 50th anniversary of the expulsion of the Asian community from Uganda, and Dollarbhai's journey will remain one of the biggest success stories that will guide and inspire generations to come. Thank you, Dollarbhai. Wonderful. Now, we will just very quickly invite 2 other special individuals. We don't like to use the word VIPs, very important people. We're all, in the eyes of the Lord, we're all important and we're all the same. But these are 2 very important sevaks, maybe we can call them that. And I'd like to invite them.
One thing to share. People come to this nation, or to America, or to the Western world. ડોલર કે પાઉન્ડ કમાવા માટે. પણ કમાલ છે કે માં કેવી રીતે ખબર હતી, માને કે નામ જ ડોલરભાઈ રાખી લીધું કે પહેલાથી ખબર હતી કે શું કમાવા માટે આવ્યા છે. પણ ડોલરિયા કમાવે બહુ જુદી વાત છે, પણ જેવી રીતે બાપુની સેવા કરી છે અને જે ભાવે કરી છે, this is really amazing. Because when I see કે બાપુને પ્રત્યે જે ભાવ છે અને જે સેવાનો ભાવ છે એ ઇન્ક્રેડિબલ છે. એ બાકી બધા ડોલરિયા અને ડોલર બધા અહીં રહી જવાનું છે, પણ જે સાથે જશે એ ભક્તિ ભાવ, સેવા ભાવ અને જે એશિયન તરીકે તમે અહીંયા જો કરો છો અને પાર્લામેન્ટને થ્રુ તમે કરો છો, આઈ થિંક એ બહુ મહત્વપૂર્ણ છે અને એને ચાલુ રાખજો. એ સેવાની ગંગા, ભક્તિની ગંગા વહેતી રહે, આને માટે પ્રભુ ચરણે પ્રાર્થના.
સ્વામીજી, આ બધી સાધુ સંતોની કૃપા, અમારી મા બાપની કૃપા, તમારા બધાના આશીર્વાદ. ભાઈ મેન્શન કર્યું 50 years of Uganda. Most of you remember that we left that country in a very difficult circumstances. અને ગુજરાતીમાં કહું તો બે ફાઇન જીવન જીવતા હતા, 2-4 ગાડી હોય, ડ્રાઈવર હોય, રસોઈયો હોય, અને ઓચિંતાનું અહીં આવવું પડ્યું. તેના માટે બહુ અઘરું હતું. એ હરી ઈચ્છા ભગવાનને ભરોસે આવ્યા, અને આજે 50 વર્ષ પછી અમે કહી શકીએ હરી કૃપા.
Now the two very important sevaks that I would like to call up to the front, they're being appreciated and thanked for the tremendous service they have offered for their local communities and across the country and beyond. And they are Bob Blackman, who is MP for Harrow East, and Barry Gardner, who is MP for Brent North. Now, Bob Pai and Barry Pai have sat through most of this evening's proceedings, and I'm sure, because they are both honorary Gujaratis now, I'm sure they've understood most of what we have talked about. Wonderful. They're being offered a special tulsi plant from Swamiji and Sadhviji. Okay, so thank you. That ends the formalities of the evening. But can I ask all the kids who are sitting here, how many of you have been to a birthday party? What?
Actually, one second, Bob, and I'm so sorry. Before you go on, along with this, I would just like, as Pujya Swamiji already spoke so beautifully about the sevaks, but I would just like to take a moment for all of those due to whom this event happened before we go forward. And I would like to ask all of those who did seva to make this event happen to please stand so that everyone can give you a very, very, very big round of applause. I know if I start listing names, inevitably I'm going to leave someone out. I don't want to do that. So if everyone can just please stand, it's not the time for humility. Let us see you, honor you, appreciate you. Starting over there, all of you up, please. Thank you. Yes. Yes, Elise, everybody, all of you. Everybody who's done seva, please stand. This is something to be proud of. Thank you all so, so much. It's been such an extraordinary evening. I know they've been planning this since April. Not easy. And it's really your love and your dedication that's made this happen. So thank you so, so much to all of you for your beautiful devotion. Back to Baba.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I was asking the question, who's been to a birthday party? Yes, so many of you. And how many of you have been to a birthday party that doesn't have a birthday cake? Not possible. So we will have now a short cake cutting ceremony. Now, we don't cut the cake. Swamiji doesn't believe in cutting. So we will just have the cake as it is. And usually we blow out the candles, but again, in our culture, we don't blow the light, we light the light. And so there will be a deep pragatiya of the cake.
And in the meantime, they are preparing for the celebration. We have here Raja and Rubaiya. That यही है ना गोपी जी? यही नाम है. बहुत beautiful singers हैं. They are amazing singers. And in the meantime, they are preparing for the celebration, and children are getting ready. Now we have to come here. Children should do it. Huh? Why not? We don't start with cutting. I don't cut. Huh? No cutting ceremony. Okay. आप लोग आ जाओ.
Okay, so what song do we sing when it's someone's birthday? What? Okay, actually, can we get the little kids to come to the front? All the little children who were chanting and any others who weren't chanting, but if you want to come to the front very quickly, very, very quickly. Come, come, come. Don't be shy, come on. And if I can ask Risha and the group to lead us on the birthday song.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Swamiji. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sadhviji. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. तेरा भला करे भगवान मुरली वाला रे. तेरा भला करे भगवान मुरली वाला रे. मुरली वाला हे नंद लाला. मुरली वाला हे नंद लाला. सबका भला करे भगवान मुरली वाला रे. सबका भला करे भगवान मुरली वाला रे. ओ मुरली वाला हे नंद लाला. मुरली वाला हे नंद लाला. तेरा भला करे भगवान डमरू
Can I ask all the kids to please go back and sit down? We still have a few little things to do. Now we're going to hear a very special song by our wonderful singers who have come, Raja and Rubaya, who are here. So Raja and Rubaya, we will just ask you to prepare just for 1 second. But while you get ready, everyone on their seats, you have a flyer, right? So to stay connected with Paramat NIKETAN and all the wonderful projects, you'll see a flyer on your chair which has details of the websites and the social media channels. If you visit the websites for Divine Shakti Foundation and Wash Alliance, you will see the opportunities to how to offer seva, be it through your ideas, your time, or through your financial contributions. Alternatively, please visit the table at the back where you can ask one of our volunteers about how to offer the seva. Now, a special seva we are doing this year, as it's Swamiji's 70th birthday and it's Sadhviji's 50th birthday, we are going to plant 70 trees for Swamiji, 50 trees for Sadhviji, and an extra tree. So 121 trees will be planted in the UK in the autumn season when it's a suitable season for planting. And it's a birthday gift from all of us to you. And those here today who would like to be a part of that, again, please go to the back and speak to Rena, and it will be done. Gopichandji says it'll be done, so wonderful. Also on the table at the back are some of Swamiji's and Sadhviji's books, which are available for sale. Now those books are available also on Amazon, but they might be a little bit cheaper here today. Diwali is coming up. These books make perfect gifts. So do go and have a look. And now we will hear a wonderful song from Raja and Rubaya.
Thank you very much. गोपी जी आपका बेहद शुक्रगुजार हूँ. स्वामी जी, मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ. मुझे आपसे हमेशा प्यार और मोहब्बत थी, और जब पैंडेमिक के थ्रू आपसे जूम पे मुलाकात हुई गोपी जी की वजह से, तो मुझे आपसे इश्क हो गया. इश्क हो गया था आपके काम से, आपकी भक्ति से मुझे इश्क हो गया. जब मैं एंटर हुआ तो एक और स्टेज आती है, वो है दीवानगी की. मैंने आपको रूबरू पहली दफ़ा देखा, मैं आपका दीवाना हो गया. लेकिन स्पीच सुनने के बाद जो आखिरी हद होती है वो है जुनून की. मुझे आज आपसे जुनूनियत की हद में मुझे प्यार है. और मैं आपने एक गाना मैंने बनाया था कुछ साल पहले माँ के लिए, और ये कहीं भी यूज़ हो सकता है, तो आप इसे कबूल कीजिएगा. कट ही जाती है यूं तो जहाँ के बिना, कट ही जाती है यूं तो जहाँ के बिना. कुछ नहीं, कुछ नहीं, कुछ नहीं जिंदगी अपनी माँ के बिना. कट ही जाती है यूं तो जहाँ के बिना. माँ अंधेरों में है रोशनी की तरह, गम की हालत में है वो खुशी की तरह. तपते सहराओं में जैसे ठंडी पवन, हम कहाँ पाएंगे माँ के जैसी लगन. ये आपके लिए. जिस्म अपना अधूरा है जान के बिना, कट ही जाती है यूं तो जहाँ के बिना. शुक्रिया.
बड़ा नटखट है रे कृष्ण कन्हैया, क्या करे यशोदा मैया. बड़ा नटखट है रे कृष्ण कन्हैया, क्या करे यशोदा मैया। एक साथ में गाए, मैया रे क्या करे यशोदा मैया, बड़ा नटखट है रे कृष्ण कन्हैया, क्या करे यशोदा मैया। Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful voices. Thank you so much for that wonderful treat. And Swamiji is giving his blessings through his flowers to Rajaji and Rubayaji. Wonderful. And I've just been corrected. The books at the back of the table are not for sale. They're available to take for a donation, whatever you like to give. So there we go. Please do visit the table at the back. Now, as promised, we will do Ganga Aarti. Many of us have small little battery candles in your hand, battery-operated candles. So please, if you have one of them, please put them on. If you don't have one of them, imagine you are in a concert. Take out your mobile phones and put on the torch, like a Arijit Singh concert or a Coldplay concert or a Lady Gaga concert. That's it. And just to say that what we'll do is straight after the Aarti, we will sing the Indian national anthems. Actually, maybe we should all stand right now for the Aarti. We must commemorate the partition of India and continue to reflect on the tragic loss of lives and the displacement of millions of people that occurred at the time. But we must also celebrate the 75th anniversary of independence and the 75th birthday of modern India with pride and positive spirit. So after the Aarti, we will remain standing and all join in to sing the Indian national anthem. But first, the Ganga Aarti.
पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्तिः जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा जय जय राधा हरि बोल जय जय राधा हरि हरि बोल जय जय राधा हरि बोल ओ जय 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 राधा जय जय
रमण राधा रमण जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा हरि बोल जय जय राधा हरि पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा
Mata ki
Jai.
Jai Gange.
Jai Gange.
Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the Ganga Aarti. Let's have a round of applause for the technical team who made that happen. Now, we will all have a chance to come and greet Swamiji, but only from the floor, okay? We can't go on the stage. Everybody will have a chance to form an orderly queue. But first, I'm going to ask the musicians and the singing team to come and get their pranams. In the meantime, once you've done the pranams, you can go to the back of the hall where we have some chai, some cake, and some dhokra for you to enjoy before you leave. So the musicians will come to the front, and then everybody who's sitting at the front, please come and take darshan from Swamiji and Sadhviji, and then go enjoy some cake. Thank you.